विश्वावरान्तिकम् वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुः श्रीयुतापदकमलम् श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनास्मि कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानन्द श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृन्द हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna, my pleasure to be here at Shri Shri Radha Gopi and Vallabha's abode in Farmington Hills. Grateful to each of you for coming on a weekday to hear about this topic about deity worship, 7 principles, 6 perks and 5 pitfalls. Especially recently, some devotees got initiated, second initiated. So the whole mood here was to eagerness to learn about deity worship and I remember the day I got second initiated. First time I was sent till Maharaj's room. Then there were list and Maharaj, after the candidate before me got second initiated, he said, now no more. So I went till the door and then came back. Then 2 years later, then it was in the temple hall. It was like Prabhupada was sitting, Prabhupada's asana is there, Maharaj was sitting here, like adjacent to, not adjacent, perpendicular to Prabhupada, and every devotee was right in front of Prabhupada. So the moment I got second initiated, we were told, कोई altar में नहीं जाएगा. Because it becomes like your visa to go inside. So we were told, it was like 50-60. So but I thought, at least let me go till the entrance, the back, the deity Pujari entrance, and just take darshan from there, near. And I was taking darshan, it was Vaikalika time and the Pujari was inside. The altar was still closed. So he said, oh yeah, we Brahman. We have the other thread. So come inside. So I said, direct Pujari is telling. So I told management that nobody is seeing, only Lord is there, you come. And it's a very special, intimate privilege that we get by Prabhupada's mercy to be able to worship the deities, and it is only in ISKCON we see such beautiful deities and decorations. Even in Vrindavan, if you go, there are many elegant temples, but the deities hardly have much life. But in ISKCON, wherever you go, because of the wonderful worship that is done, the devotees, by the devotees, so there is so much, the deities are very happy to receive. So based on different aspects, incidents that I have heard, either pastimes wise or principles that come out during interactions in Chopati, Radha Gopinath Mandir, I had made this kind of document. So just listed them into this rememberable way. 7 principles, 6 perks, and 5 pitfalls. So I'm just sharing what I learned. So please don't fight with the management here. Every temple has its own bhav and priority and authority they need to follow. But the principles are there, and I'm going to share the principles and some practices that are based on those principles. So please accept the principle, and yes, if the practice is also possible, or sharing the other day to Yugal Kishore Prabhu. I was missing him when I came here, that I didn't see him. So where is he? So he went to New York. So I called him. So Prabhuji, I'm feeling very sad. I remember when Bhakti Charu Maharaj came to our temple and Maharaj wasn't there, Radhanath Maharaj. He said, so he had said, I'm feeling sad that Maharaj is not here every time. So I called Prabhuji. And I said, Prabhuji, you have copied Radha Gopinath temple a lot, including the Mangalarti timing. Only temple in India that has 5 AM Mangalarti is Chopati. And maybe the only temple in United States that may have Mangalarti at 5, maybe farming temples. What time is Mangalarti in Kuch Bihari?
4:30.
4?
4:40.
4. Usually 4:30. I remember when I was in Chicago, Shishi Kishore temple, the Mangalarti used to be at 4:50 AM. And later, they changed it to 4:30. So usually 4:30. So I told Prabhuji, we have copied everything, the altar design and the timings, and most importantly, I copied the mood of Chopati. I'm feeling I've come back to Chopati. So I told him, there is, usually when you copy, there is also a copyright. You have to pay the fees for copying it. So he said, what fees should I pay? He said, you have to come to the original every year. So all of you should come whenever possible to Shri Radha Gopinath. And the Utsav Vigraha there in Gopinath is Gopi Janavalla. And Maharaj, to make Yugal Kishore too happy, and he named them. Also there is connection with Kunja Bihari. Jai Radha Madhava, Kunja Bihari, Gopi Janavalla. So that is also there, and Gopi Janavalla there, and also the qualities of Yugal Kishore who I would say are same but very similar to Ghanshyam Baba, very super sadhu. So in that way also Gopi Janavalla name is appropriate. His humility, his devotion is unparalleled. So therefore I was missing to associate with such a sadhu. You are very fortunate to get his association. So please, in this proper spirit, we will go ahead. 7 principles of when we are approaching. And these principles are not just for the temple. These principles are whenever we approach the deities at home, what we do at the temple is only to train us in the mood and the method and the motivation in which we approach the deities, whether it be home or the temple. Do we have a playroom for the child? Temple all becomes little disturbing. So the first principle of deity worship is of gravity. Not to take this whole process lightly or casually. And often after a while, initially it won't happen, you are very overwhelmed. But as you doing, and maybe at your home, this often happens that our gravity and reverence, seriousness with which we approach the deities starts to go down. And in one lecture, Srila Prabhupada mentions, don't take Krishna cheaply. He is very mercifully come. So please be grateful and be serious when you are approaching him. So this principle of gravity that how is it exhibited? This principle of gravity, that when we are with the Lord, we are with the Lord with our body, mind and words. Sometimes, you are with the Lord, but the mind is planning many things, or if there is a co-pujari with you, you start to discuss about many other things in the altar or in the backup room. So when are you going for Yatra, Prabhuji? And then Prabhuji will say, no, Prabhuji, my visa thing is very tough. And right next to the deities, something else is only being discussed. Of course, service related.
Sorry, what we are sharing on Zoom, they are not able to see the slides, so we are trying to figure out how to.
But there are only one line. There is nothing much.
अच्छा ठीक है फिर.
There is not much.
तो आप बोल ही रहे हो.
Just one word is there.
Okay, got it. Thank you. Sorry.
Some photo just to keep it attractive. So to be very, maintain that gravity when we are worshipping the deities is a very important principle. So, not doing prajalpa, not talking about things other than, that very specific service. And in fact, to speak as less as possible. Some places, they even tie a cloth to the mouth. Not that they shouldn't speak, but even if they speak, their says no saliva doesn't come out in the deity room. In Udupi, only sannyasis are allowed to worship the deities, the mud sannyasi. And that mud sannyasi, he has to ensure that he doesn't even sneeze or pass air when he is in the altar. Because you are with the Supreme Lord, you are worshipping Him. And tomorrow is our deity worship In the night at 11 o'clock we are having some pizza and Sprite. And next day when we go to the altar, we are having verbs right in front of the Lord. Or most offensive is most offensive is passing aid, farting. I would say how many have done that, or I have helplessly been that, but to take care of our health in such a way that we don't create any inauspicious or anything lightly, because say if you are going to meet the president, how well prepared you will be. So the sannyasis there, they all have to do yoga. And once there were videos that they do even these acrobats. The sannyasi, he holds this rod inside in the ashram, and he kind of goes up and because they do these aartis. In Janmashtami, we offer the one Krishnadev aarti and then another aarti. But they have at least 15 to 20 types of aartis. One will be shaped like Kaliya, like a serpent, and on each there will be a lamb. Another will be like a Surya. And each of these they offer to the Lord. You might have seen anybody been to Udupi. So they all, and for them to, and you may remember, you may know that when we are doing Aarti, I have not done Aarti here, but in Chopati we have like 7 deities to cover. Radha, Gopinath, Lalita, Vishaka, Gopalji, Gaur Nitai. So for all of them, all 7, full list, full item numbers, and then for the gurus and others, we do minimal. So it takes good stamina not to become body conscious. When you are doing this Aarti, so you tend to become body conscious. Or as Mohan once said that sometimes if a devotee is too body conscious, you're also seeing his muscles as he is doing and rotating in such a way that everybody and the Lord is seeing how well he is toned. So that whole aarti becomes like a display of his skill. So this is all to be avoided. So gravity is a principle, but the practice comes in all this, that we take care of our health, we ensure that we don't do prajalpa, we don't unnecessarily talk. But in case some other Vaishnava is doing, also don't pounce on him in the altar, or be very mindful of the way you convey. If somebody is doing, first of all is precept. You follow properly this principle of being very mindful that whom are you approaching, and therefore with our body, mind and words, we are maintaining that gravity. And I have seen this with Radharan Maharaj, that when even if he chants the holy names, he will not do that casually. Sometimes our wheel bag is behind our back somewhere. But chanting very consciously. It's also said by Janani Vastu that the bell that we ring, it represents the devotee. it is the Garuda, it is the Hanuman. So that ringing of the bell is their kirtan. So therefore when the bell is rung, the face of the bell should not be covered. You hold like this, so it kind of suffocating that devotee. And it should be visible to the Lord. Any traditional temple, the bell is above the waist. Where anything below the waist is considered as inauspicious. So the bell should be held not like near your knees, ringing like this, but held above your waist and in a soft tone. You are not in hurry. Like you want to do the offering fast, so if you ring fast, it doesn't happen fast. You are asking the Lord to have relaxed you, although time can be less, but I also conveyed this, that the bell should be rung very rhythmically and slowly. Slow ringing of the bell, not very fast, very slow. But as I am saying, if somebody is doing, don't think they are not sincere. It may be lack of education, not understanding, or nobody taught. But we were in Chopati, every aspect, Maharaj notices, and we are trained. This is how we have to do the deity worship. So even ringing the bell, we have to be mindful when we are ringing. It is this devotee, this great Vaishnava, his service is to do the kirtan. And therefore, I should be carefully, therefore the bell should also have an asana. Because it's a devotee. So the devotee has to be seated on an asana. He cannot be just on the floor. Not on the floor, but even on the altar, there should be asana for every bell. Because every bell is just the tongue of that Vaishnava, Garuda, Mohan, Surabhi, different. So this is gravity. So when you heard gravity, you may have thought, oh, okay. But as I am telling you the details, you may be getting a little fearful, but just sharing these important principles that it be. Do the arati, or we do the dressing, we are very, very mindful that what we are doing and being respectful to Krishna. The second principle of deity worship is safety. Safety of the deities, paraphernalia, of the devotees, that we don't do anything because we want to do something artistic or something quick, that it may hamper the safety of the deities. And many times, we want to put a very nice pagadi and then we use pins. So we may use pins, but ensuring that safety, it is very important before your artist service. So therefore it is also said, it is told Chopati, it is in the altar, never be in hurry. Not being in hurry, because if you are in hurry, something or other will fall. There have been occasions where in some temples, the pujari is in hurry and he quickly gets up, and with him some limb of the Lord gets attached, and then the limb broke of the Lord, or the shaligram fell. So, not at all being in hurry. That be early. Be early so that you are not in hurry, for safety of taking care of the deities and this altar is is priority. Long back, for some decoration, one of our very senior pujaris, he brought nails. If you want to put all these decorations, so how will you hang them? So he brought nails and he was putting on the altar. So Maharaj heard, because he's right next to the altar in Chopati. So he heard and he immediately came and said, "What are you doing?" So we need to decorate. He said, "That is Anantashesh. The altar is Anantashesh. And you are making Anantashesh into Jesus Christ." Now putting all these nails, or sometimes the blue tag we put on the clothes and we don't remove it, that tag becomes like a black mark on the cloth. Or sometimes we put the tag improperly, it sticks to the hair of the deities, and that whole hair becomes, and eventually the lordship's hair, they start to appear like old people, bald in front. See, many times. Aage badi nahi, because just to stick it properly, they use the tag, and the tag sticks and they try to remove the hair out. So most of the times, all this front hair is gone, just there's this little cloth there. So safety of the deities, deity paraphernalia. When we take them, when we from the place and when we put them back, being very mindful, these are the Lord's paraphernalia, that they should not be broken. Often, we just dump, I don't know if there is Dasanudas here, along with the pujaris. So they usually sort it out. But safety. The floor was made of chopati, the general temple hall floor. So when the pujari, the deity, the pujari, after we do the sprinkling of water, so because it's wood, Maharaj, he saw that water and he started to wipe it with his own cloth. That this wood, it should not get bad. It should stay as it is. So then we started this practice of just going to the devotee and just putting on him. Earlier we used to like wholesale. Wholesale we used to throw. Then Maharaj said, we are stepping on it and then the floor gets bad eventually. So this is an aspect of ensuring that Lord's paraphernalia stays for decades to come, for centuries to come. Maharaj once said that we may not be there, but they will be there for centuries together. Our life is 40, 50 years more. But they are going to be here for centuries. So every generation responsibility is there that the temple, every aspect is maintained in such a safety that the next generation is using it as it is. So therefore, even when we put any kind of instrument, jewelry on the Lord, to ensure that it is not breaking the Lord, it is soft on the Lord. Whether we are putting the flute, there is no kind of marks. If you see closely, many times the deities, where they put the sharp aspects, there are a lot of marks, scars of the deities. Even in home, like especially Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra, they put tag anywhere and everywhere just to stick the ornaments. And when the tag is removed, literally the paint, which is the skin of the Lord, is removed. So we should be mindful that how do I decorate the Lord so that the Lord, he is happy, he is not hurt. Jagannath Baladev Subhadra also. So there are techniques. So when our Ram Kumar Panda had come back to one of our centers where Jagannath Baladev Subhadra was there. So I asked him, how do you decorate the Lord in Puri without any tags? They don't use tags. So how do you decorate? They put the Natani, they put the Jhumka, they put all that. So how do you do? And they also don't use any plastic or this nylon thread which we use. He said what we do is, we make something like nylon thread with banana leaves. Banana leaves, that middle part is there. So that they take it out thread by thread. So it's literally not visible. So the jhumka that they put on Jagannath Baladev Subhadra, so they tie it to this thread, this banana thread, and they put it from the top of the log. They don't stick it. Because there is no way to stick, first of all, in the traditional way, and ensure that it appears almost here. Even that nathani that they put, that's the way they put it, like with a thread. So if you notice closely, then you will see that it is actually hanging. It is not stuck. So these are, again, gravity and safety are connected, but being mindful that we don't hurt the Lord in our attempts to serve Him. Because we want to serve, not cause harm to the Lord. Once I remember I was at Gaurang Prabhu, and he had come first time to United States, 2004. So I was very eager to serve him. So he went into his room, and I was sitting outside in the night. If he needs anything, I should be available there. So he says, somebody is outside. So he came out and he said, what are you doing here? Prabhuji, if you need anything, I should be available. So he said, don't create Adidasi Klesh for me. There are three Kleshas: Adi Atmic, Adi Bhautik, Adi Devik. In ISKCON there is another Klesh, Adidasi Klesh. Troubles created in our attempt to serve Guru, Vaishnavas and Krishna. We want to serve, but because we don't know, we end up creating trouble for the Klesh, Adidasi Klesh. So this is second principle, safety. Third is punctuality. To that Arati timings or anything, we stick to that, because punctuality shows our gravity, that how mindful are we. So Prabhupada also said, two things are most important in deity worship: punctuality and cleanliness. In fact, all these 7 principles come into that, if you clearly see. Said, whatever happens to the deities should be very timely. Now in Vrindavan they have their own bhav, they are in Raga marg, but we are in Vidhi marg. In Vrindavan, if you go, No, there is no timing, sir. Radharaman will open in the evening. But no, he's sleeping, and when he wakes up, then they will give darshan. That's a different mode, but in ISKCON Prabhupada has given us the timings, so to follow those very carefully. And that this becomes sometimes with me that I remember sometimes when I'm doing the Mangalarti, we also have to, because there are 7 deities. Here it's always aram, very nicely you can do like at one rotation per second, like very slowly you can do. But there you have to cover 7 and timing is same, 5:25. You need to end. So how the mind is on the Lord, how the mind is on the time. And then it has happened to me that unconsciously, as I am worshipping, when I come towards the Guru Parampara, the time is also there, clock is also there. I ended up offering Aarti to the lamp, time also. It is not to be done, but so afraid that if I cross the time, then it is improper. Any have that experience? Actually, did that? Is there a lamp? Time?
Yeah,
On the side. Wall way. There we have in front. Recently Maharaj removed it. He said there is no time in the spiritual world. Why should it be in the altar? And all of us became very helpless. We have to do on time, but if you don't see time, here we have something hide. But in Chopati, the side walls are also totally carved and wooden. So he said this part of the altar is spiritual world. In spiritual world, there is no time. So he said remove the clock. So we had really tough time. How will you know? So then we went and begged Maharaj. No, we can't wear watch also. Watch is also not allowed. We went and begged Maharaj. So Maharaj said, only for the Aarti time, a small little piece you can keep near the Aarti plate. So you can see. After that should be removed. As we had this big watch. So that we all the time see the clock. So punctuality is important in deity worship. Is an important principle. Worship must be timely, like serving a king. The fourth principle of deity worship is beauty. That our attempt is to bring out the Lord is already beautiful. Bhushana, Bhushanamana. That Krishna is the ornament for the ornament. Even materially, I used to notice that same dress, if a beautiful person wears, the dress also looks very nice. And the same dress, somebody who is not that beautiful wears, doesn't come out. So same with Krishna. When Krishna wears anything, his beauty should come forth. So there was some time where the pujari was putting the pagadi in such a way that it was kind of over the eyebrows of the Lord. The eyebrows were being covered. So then Maharaj said that it is the eyebrows with which the Lord throws the arrows on the devotee. And you are covering that. In the fourth canto it is explained that when we look at the eyebrows of the Lord, that generates spiritual desires in the Lord, in the Jiva to serve. So, looking at eyebrows of the Lord, so at times what happens is the devotees tend to overdress the Lord and hide the real beauty aspect of the Lord. They tend to make the dress more beautiful than Krishna. Our dressing should not take attention of people away from Krishna and on the dress. And also the devotee who is looking at the Lord, who is taking darshan, should primarily have darshan of the Lord and not just at the dressing of the Lord. Many times this happens that when darshan opens, especially if we are pagadi, if you tie the pagadi, then we'll only look at the pagadi. How did he make? That's good but then the purpose is that the Lord's beautiful face is not overwhelmed by the decorations. It should be an enhancement. Just like Maharaj always said, even Jayadeva Maharaj says that when the mridanga is being played, the mridanga player or the kartal player should not supersede the singer. That the mridanga is so evident that the tune or anything is not understood. That the tune is the one who is singing, we are assisting. So the mridanga, kartal should be soft, softer than the kirtan. Yes, if the tempo rises, then yes. But sometimes kirtan happens, sometimes in dressing it happens. There is long back, there used to be this book of Maharaj in which he was mentioning that, if a pujari is having this ego, that how nicely I have dressed the Lord, that very turban to the Lord appears like thorns. And there was one garland devotees meeting, and in that it so happened, it always happens that there is competition for who will make the garland for Gopinath. Because there are many deities there. Here both are most there Gaur Nityanand Prabhu is there, Gauranga Mahaprabhu is there, Lalita is there, Vishaka is there. And small deities are there, little or altars are there. So then there is kind of competition, right? I will make this, I will make that. So in that meeting Maharaj mentioned that when we are making that garland, it should be an offering of humility and not thinking that I have made the most beautiful garland, because for Krishna that doesn't give pleasure. And also, this thread that Maharaj many times said that there should be no thread. He said there should be no open thread. It should not hurt the Lord here. When you put all the deities, if there is just empty thread, it will hurt. And if there are very hard flowers, it will also hurt. So it may appear beautiful, but for the Lord it is hurting. So he said that where the flowers are touching the Lord, they should be the most softest, fragrant flowers. And no thread should be there. And same for Prabhupada. Prabhupada garland also, Maharaj made the same standard. And maybe one of the only places, or very few places, where Bhagavatam is also garlanded. Most temples, once the Bhagavatam is over, Bhagavatam is not there. See, it is kept inside. So So Maharaj has mentioned many times that the Vyasasana is not a storage area. The Vyasapit is not a storage area. It is placed, the Bhagavatam is worship, this is placed, the speaker sets. So, he has emphasized many times that nothing should be kept on the Vyasasana. And it should be in a very respectable, honored place. It's not something to be thrown or pushed aside. Abhi kaam ho gaya. This is impersonalism. So to worship the Bhagavatam and to worship the Vyasapit. As I'm saying every place the mood and things. So don't fight with management. I'm kept sharing this aspect that this all comes in deity worship. And even for the Bhagavatam, when we put the garland, no thread should be visible. You need extra thread, but that extra thread should also be cut. So it looks very beautiful on the Bhagavatam. Because Bhagavatam, the prefix is Srimad Bhagavatam, the most beautiful Bhagavatam. And the most beautiful Bhagavatam many times is hardly visible in the temples, except, and most temples now have this technology, so you don't need Bhagavatam only. But this is an aspect of beauty that which is there. Another principle of, I made all this into T. You remember what is the first one?
Gravity.
Gravity. Second one?
Safety.
Safety. Third one?
Punctuality.
Punctuality. Fourth one? Beauty. Fifth one is Deity. Deity means joy. That the devotee should be happily serving the Lord. Not that he is feeling burdened. That daily I am only doing this. Nobody is coming for the Mangalarti. Nobody comes. Only I am there. The devotee should, whatever seva is doing, he should do with great joy of understanding the privilege that you have got. So there is a small little sheet that we read before Manas Puja. So in that, there is a whole paragraph. I don't know if it is here. I can send you that after. So this is must before we enter the Lord worship. That there is a Manas Puja sheet which we read and we offer the Shodasha Upachar before we enter. So there, one of the paragraphs that Maharaj has made is, after millions of years of wandering in the cycle of birth and death, finally by the grace of Guru, Vaishnavas and Krishna, I have got the opportunity to serve my spiritual master, who is serving the deities. So when we are doing the seva, it is not we who are doing the seva. We are assisting the spiritual master to do the seva. Long back, our head pujari, like in the 2000s, so everybody was introducing what their seva is. So when it came to the Deity department, so this brahmachari was introduced that he is the head of Deity department, head of the Deity department. So Maharaj said, head? He is not a head, he is an ass. So everybody thought, why is Maharaj using such word? He is an ass. Said, he is not a head, he is an assistant. Assistant short name is ass. So the actual head pujari is Janani Vastu. And any pujari that is doing seva is only assisting that aspect. So be joyful to have got this opportunity to serve the Lord. I was sharing yesterday also that one devotee came to me saying that Prabhuji, you tell devotees on the Sunday feast program or in the Saturday evening program, 100 devotees come for the class. But for Mangalarti, nobody comes. Only I am there sometimes singing and doing. This is in Bombay, not in Chopati temple, but in one of more centers. So you should tell to devotees to come for Mangalarti. So I asked him a question. Apart from the day when you have to do Mangalarti, how many days do you come? And he said, no, I don't come. Then why are you expecting others to come? He doesn't go to, on other days when he doesn't have Aarti, to wake up early and go. But then when it is his day, he wants there should be good number of devotees singing. So many times our focus is not on the Lord, but who is observing us. So once a brahmachari also went to Maharaj. And he said, Maharaj, I am not getting that intimacy with the Lord. That I want to have that intimate association with the Lord. So I'm not feeling that. So I think I'll go and do Nirjan Bhajan. So Maharaj said, when you are chanting, it is only you and Krishna. If you throw the mind out, you and Krishna are only there. So any service that we are doing, it is between us and Krishna. It is not about anyone else. So sharing that, So understand, if nobody is coming, then Krishna is giving you very intimate seva. And the Mangalarti we are singing. Nikunjayo no ratikeli siddhai yayale bher yuktir apekshaniya. You are singing about how the Guru is engaging you into intimate service of Radha and Krishna. And as you are doing that intimate service of offering Mangalarti or singing or doing, you are thinking nobody is coming. You are missing out that opportunity of Ekanta Seva. So nowadays when somebody doesn't come, I become happy. And when people come, I am happy. But if nobody comes, it is between you and Krishna now. So don't feel morose when you come for Mangalarti. Of course, it is all the while good. Like whether somebody is Grahastha or Brahmachari, waking up early and coming to the Lord in great joy and being happy. So Deity. So I'll go a little quickly because time is running out. What time should I complete? Because there are so many stories and aspects of this. So I don't want to delay devotees. Sixth is purity. 850. Okay. Sixth is purity. That everything that we are offering to the Lord is in its purest possible, available thing. And I think everywhere that principle is there, that offer as fresh as possible. Anything. So if you are bringing milk, ensure the milk is the purest. If you are bringing anything, ensuring that the purity of the things. And also purity of our body. Purity of our clothes. Dhoti in Sanskrit doesn't mean just a, it also means this particular attire, but it means that which is dhuta. जो धुता हो, that which is clean is dhoti. जो धोया हुआ है वो धोती. And sometimes, yesterday I wore for Mangal Aarti, today I'll again wear for the Seva. Or morning I wore, I'll again wear. Or in some places we keep a stock of these uttariyas that can be worn. So, ensuring that the clothes that we are wearing here are pure and our beard or any of this are also considered as impure. It's a big debate now, I don't want to go into it, from having beard and still worshipping, but cleanliness, purity, which is what is Prabhupada mentions as, is important, both internal, external and internal. Internally, not having any kind of disturbing thoughts, which is impure, which makes the mind impure, to ensure that. Last principle is loyalty. That loyalty to the parampara, that we don't go outside of our parampara to invent ways to serve Krishna or to do things. In that parampara they do like this. To be very loyal, yes, we may learn, we may check with our seniors, but to be loyal is one aspect. Another is that we have our loyalty to the deity, that we truly feel I am their servant. Krishna has many forms, but whichever form you have been given access to fully feel loyalty. This incident happened Maharaj, that they were in London. Maharaj had this operation way back, going over there in London, and they went for a deity welcoming. So the deity welcoming was nice. Maharaj was speaking to them, and so Maharaj asked them, "So how did you like the deities?" "Oh, the deities were very beautiful, Maharaj, and kind of glorifying." And Maharaj kind of sensed, and he said, "But my worshipable deities are Shri Shri Radha Gopinath." So immediately it kind of hit them that they kind of were comparing that how Gopinath has some kind of marks in which had to be covered and little things here and there. Because those times they were not such professionals. And when you see, Radha Govinda, Radha Madan Mohan, they are not that artistic the way now they are. So just like when we go to some homes and we compare with our home, मेरे घर में ये नहीं है, वो नहीं है. So sometimes when devotees, those who have deities at home, when they go to someone else, they have better deities. No, to have that complete chastity and loyalty, you may appreciate. But once you have, and of course you may always bring a set of deities to worship, but having that full loyalty to your Ishtadev. Your Ishtadev may be different for different devotees, but I'm sure for most of you it is Radha Gopi Janvala. So wherever you go, whether it is Radha Madhavis, Radha Gopi Janvala. So in them you appreciate them. So, because deities are persons, and we have that personal relationship with Krishna. All deities are Krishna, but still, my deity is mine, Mamatva, ye mere Krishna. So that is another aspect of deity worship. Otherwise, sometimes people change deities like they change phones. now I'll get another deity. Okay. You can, but the mood is this. This is the principle. Right? Dil bik chuka hai. Your heart is sold. So these are 7 principles. The rest of it I'll quickly complete. 6 perks is 6 benefits. Why we should? When ये सब सुनेंगे, if we hear all these 7 principles, we may feel better. With all this, safety, punctuality. So what are the benefits? The first benefit is purification. That deity worship has been especially given to purify our life so that we can quickly come to an elevated stage. Through chanting it does happen, but even in the chanting, we don't feel Krishna's personal presence. But the deities, we see Gopinath, Gopi Vijayanavallabh is there. Most of the places when I go to offer obeisances, naturally Gopinath only comes out. She said, Radha Gopinath. So purification is being done through deity worship. Second is that it brings unity to the community and also in the family. That the deities and everybody is serving. I went to one family in Cincinnati. Everybody has been assigned deity seva there. He'll do offering, morning offering. Another will do this offering. So like that everybody is engaged, and because of that, there is so much unity in the family. So deity worship brings great unity to the family. Therefore we should, one is personal purification, purification of the home, and second is unification. A family that prays together, stays together. Third is that we become more clean than before. That now we keep our home clean, we keep our body and everything. So cleanliness, when it comes more into our homes, more into our lives, the more we bring deities. Fourth perk or benefit of deity worship is that we start to develop respect for other devotees who are connected to the deities, because without their grace and mercy we cannot please. So we start to develop respect among devotees, appreciate devotees, because everybody is now together serving. So there is that bonding happens, respect for, even if in a family. Fifth perk is our attraction for the Lord starts to increase the more we engage in deity worship. The sixth is that, and that attraction also leads to healthy detachment, that we are not now more conscious about our own decoration, but now we are thinking everything in front of how can I decorate the lordships? How can I? So detachment, that don't eat first. It is the Lord to be offered. So detachment becomes a part of our aspect when we engage into deity worship. This is another benefit. So 6 benefits. Anyone remember what is the first benefit of deity worship? Purification. Second? Unification. Third? Cleanliness. Fourth? Respect. Fifth? Attraction. Sixth? Attachment. And the last is about pitfalls, mistake, offenses, or where we can go wrong. Negligence. That being negligent in our service, in our cooking or any aspect, negligence is a pitfall. Second is being casual. Casual means being disrespectful. That telling Krishna, Krishna, you're not taking a bath today or you're taking Krishna like casual. It happened in this. One devotee was putting, it was falling off. So he chastised. क्या आज तैयार नहीं होना है क्या? You don't want to get decorated today. So yes, there may be a bhav, but we should not be casual. Third is impurity. Of course, we already covered this. That trying to maintain our physical and internal purity. Fourth is sporadic. Not really having determination. When you feel like you will wake up the Lord. When you don't feel like today I am very tired, so you call up Shampi Sharpat, say Prabhuji, today I am not coming. It's sporadic, like mind driven. Also, Maharaj made this a rule that the pujari who is dressing the Lord should not be a stranger to the Lord. That is only seen that day. Do you like to get dressed by strangers? Then by the Lord. So the pujari should be also part of the morning program, at least sometimes when he is not dressing. Then the Lord is, no, today is a devotee. Else, into the altar and out of the altar, not seen in the temple or only. It does happen, no, when we take things casually. So, being sporadic, being this way, that. Fifth is developing pride. That I dress the best, or I chant the shlokas the best, or I put tilak the best, or I offer. So any kind of pride in the services that we are offering. Sometimes it goes to the extent that cutting fruit also can develop pride. So there is one devotee, he cuts the fruits in so artistic way. I have some photographs. It looks like a work of art. So beautiful. But he is also very humble. But if somebody kind of does that kind of preparation, because his mood is that it's not just Ele Bhagwan Khalu. It should be so elegantly kept that make the plate so nicely. Once Maharaj said this, that when Yamuna Mataji used to serve prasad, then Maharaj used to feel, how can I disturb such artwork? So the way we arrange things that becomes part of beauty. That everything should be well. Like even flowers that we put, as beautifully decorated as possible. Because we are offering to Krishna. But if you are able to do that, but this is another pitfall. Not carrying pride in what we are doing, then it is not pleasing to Krishna. So these are the 5 pitfalls. What is first? Negligence. Second? Casual. Third? Impurity. Fourth? Sporadic. Fifth? Pride. So I am also trying to overcome this, but just observed this some of the teachings of Maharaj and mentioned it. Of course, all of these have many stories, but for paucity of time, conclude here. Any one or two questions?
Daily worship, wanted to just ask, is that also like like a like mastering the art of deity worship, that we know how long it will take when we do, so that we're not necessarily have to look at the clock in the sense, if we sing Gora, for example, it would take maybe 20 to 30 minutes for the whole Gora or whatever. So in that same way, when we're doing deity worship, if we're doing it regularly, do we get the sense of like, okay, I go on the altar on time, or I do deity worship on time, but then I know that when I'm done, it will be about this much time. Is that the basic way of approaching it?
Yeah, whatever the local authorities have set a time for everything, we follow that. That's punctuality. Therefore, because Krishna should be served, because he has his pastimes, Ashtakaliya, he also has schedule in Vrindavan, so he follows the schedule. So, for that reason, it is served.
I have a question.
Yes.
So, while doing deity worship, we know that 7 rounds, 4, 3, 2, 7, then 3, then water. So, my consciousness is counting rounds only. So, I cannot focus either rounds or if I focus, I forget the rounds. So, what we should do for that?
Good question, very practical question. I also asked this question to Prabhuji. He said, that's a challenge. But as you do more and more, that you are able to count and you are able to focus. Both happen. But in the initial, we are more count conscious than the Lord conscious. But once it comes into your muscle, it's called as muscle memory. Then he says, for me it is natural that it just happens. So, because like sometimes when somebody is playing harmonium, initial vibe is looking at each key where I am pressing. One who practices a lot, then he doesn't need to look, then he's only looking at the deity. He doesn't need to look at the keys. So therefore we should do more deity worship. Then it becomes habit. If you're doing very rarely, that's why grahasthas have better. Actually, grahasthas are recommended for deity worship. Because brahmacharis are on the move, charin is moving. But still, we have that privilege. So, more we practice, more it becomes. Even this ringing of the bell, mridanga, things happening differently. Initially, it's tough, but you have to do it so much that it comes into your muscle. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for really enlightening this course. Made me think so many aspects. One question on the punctuality aspect. Especially when we dress the deities and the deities are going to rest. There is a lot of detail there that you want to dress the deities nicely, and there is certain exchange also you want to have that. So you don't want to rush through, like reading Krishna book. When the Lord goes to rest, it's not a procedure, it's an activity. And sometimes I overboard, rather than 10 o'clock and go to 10, like for an example, cleaning the floor. Now it's getting late, but I should clean the floor. So,
See, in home worship there is that allowance, but still we are not like today you are done in 10 minutes, tomorrow you take 1 hour, and then again the day after it is short. Shouldn't be there. That you have a set amount of time in which you do things and you try to follow. Consistency is important. Otherwise, deity worship can become many times on the mind level. So we should do anything. If you are doing a particular activity, if you think I want to do this, and do consistently that way. Of course, Krishna is a person, sometimes he understands when we are not able to, but try to maintain it consistent, whether it be elaborate or short. Whatever you can happily do and lovingly do for Krishna, it is welcome. If you can whole day spend with Krishna, that's the best. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So, I would like to explain this book which Prabhuji wrote. And in the beginning, I just only introduced it a little bit. So, Prabhuji actually has been over a decade conducting impactful seminars on science, spirituality, leadership, relationship, and self-development, addressing diverse audience across US and India. His talks have inspired people at renowned institutions like MIT, Yale, NYU, and companies like Intel, Wall Street, Rotary, Coca-Cola, Access Bank, and he gave multiple TEDx programs. So actually, this book Prabhuji wrote, it's actually, it all started like online web, course which Prabhuji used to give to audience from India and US. And when Gauranga Prabhu was going to every place, people are saying they like this seminar very much, and they are talking about whatever the content is presented in this series of sessions. So Gauranga Prabhu, when he met again in India, he advised him to write a book on them. So following his instruction, Prabhuji wrote a book. Am I telling you right? So it is good for youth, and also for our preachers also. If you want to take from them.
So Gita becomes like a big bottleneck for people to explain. So I try to make every chapter into a visualization. So it's easier to understand. Second chapter is a theater example, which we can understand. Third chapter is a stock exchange. Eighth chapter is a escape story. So just it becomes the same Gita. It's sequentially explained chapter by chapter. So that's why I've been main service while touring to share about the book, but because here devotees were just got initiated, so I thought I'll share this. But you can all take a look at this book, and if you want, take a copy. Hare Krishna.
Ask one more question. Prabhuji, I was reading Ishwaranshad yesterday, and the 18th verse talked about this one aspect of sacrifice in order to, but I see that being applied in many different places, even in deity worship. If we do it properly, there are a lot of benefits, but if we are neglectful, there's pitfalls, right? So I wanted to ask you about, sacrifice, maybe on what the talk here today, and how can we take that further step of commitment of doing things properly in Krishna consciousness, especially in deity worship, so that we don't have that pitfall, we don't slip. Instead, we might have a strict schedule of punctuality, for example. If we can master each one of those seven one by one, so that we do it perfectly to please Krishna instead of. It's like I feel it's like an art form, like maybe like.
It has its vidhis, but deity worship is not just a ritual or just a checklist, but it's a relationship. So when you understand it's a relationship, and all these are ways to show our commitment in the relationship. So then you focus properly. So punctuality is a way to show our commitment to our beloved. If you say, I'll come on this time, you come on this time. So that's punctuality. So that's why with Krishna, we are punctual because time is a way by which we show that we are there for you. So therefore, deity worship is not just a checklist, it's a relationship. And we need to have that both, at the same time follow the method. So it is a combination of raga marg and vidhi marg. Hare Krishna. We'll stop now and.
Prabhuji, just
Yeah, one question.
Yes.
one little question. So sometimes, so for example, we have a deity, Lord Krishna's deity, and then Dhanteras is coming. We were thinking of getting another bigger one. So we're not sure what we're going to do with the older one. How do you discard a deity if possible? And second question is, sometimes on magazines and papers we get pictures of Lord. What do you do with them? Do you just keep them in your house, or is there a way to?
Hmm.